Carbs for the win! Spinners are winners!
Okay, so the night before a big ride, we're gonna go for about 140K. So Mark wants 300 grams of sugar, water for the trip, which is 1.5 cups. Seems crazy to me, but carb up, yo, as Mark always says. It's so hard for me to even fathom doing this. I'll be taking 5 dates. Delicious. So put this with some hot water, let it settle overnight. Okay, so what we've done is taken a cup and a half, which is 300 grams of sugar, which means 300 carbs. And that equates to 12 of these, which are energy packets. And so we started messing around with or experimenting with the sugar to try and reduce the waste that would be created on longer rides. So in here is 24 grams of carbohydrates. So for 100 grams an hour, it would be 4 of these. And even if you were just out for 3 hours, that's still 12 of these packets, right?
What we're trying to do is put across that, yeah, these are great, but if you're out, you need to carry, for tomorrow's ride, 120, 150K. We need each at least 12, 15 of these things, which are non-recyclable, plasticky packets that you can't do anything with afterwards. So it's trying to get your head around that. Yeah, you're used to seeing sugar as a bad thing, but this is what is in this thing, and we need it in order to fuel your muscles and your brain to keep going on a ride. So we're going to have those literally in here, diluting down overnight, and then you have another bottle of fresh water just to rinse your mouth out, and then when you ever stop off, fill up with your water as you go. But that is basically one big energy gel.
I'm still trying to get there. I'm so far from there. So
if you're not sure, Google and go on YouTube, have a look, type in sugar water.
Totally.
It's not mad, it's what we need. It's just, you were all used to seeing it in these commercial packets, not the cheaper, more economical, more environmentally friendly version over there. Carbs for the win, people.
Carb out.
So anyway, off to crack another 150 today for me. Sarah's gonna crack it today as well. So my tips would be just go slow and steady. We've covered some of the breakfast stuff, but one of the things I definitely slip up on is not drinking enough before I go for a ride. So I've tried as much as I can to at least get 1.5 liters into me. Fruit juices and of course a coffee. Other little tweaks I made, adjusted the cleat. So if you've done a long ride, really have a feel of how your body is when you finish that ride, and try and make those adjustments before you get off the bike, and that way you know for the next time. Anyway, over to Sarah.
All right, lots of coffee and water. My heart is ready to go. And we carved up for breakfast, which is always easy for Mark, and always a interesting game for me to try and carb up as much as I probably should. But lots of oatmeal and sugar, banana, pineapple, some peanuts for a little fat in there, and we'll see. Good to go. I didn't have the sugar, but you know.
So that's good. Sarah said that about the because if you're running a Wahoo or you got an Apple Watch or something that tells you how many calories you burn and everything, do look at that number. Don't ignore it, and then adjust what you need to have beforehand and during the ride, so you don't bonk, as cyclists call it, running out of energy during the ride. It just makes the whole thing miserable. You are going to need more carbs because you are going to burn them. Certain Person's Clinic here, osteopathy and massage, health is wealth, people.
Bookings on.
Quick tips if you're on one of these big rides, and obviously a big ride is something specific to you. It might be 20k, it might be 30k, it might be 100k, it might be 600k if you're one of these crazy Audax people. Anyway, do check, make sure everything does fit. It's amazing how many times people will go out still on the bike knowing the seat post is a little bit low and think that it's going to adjust itself. We're only about 20k in, so not much, but fluid is key. Knowing you have enough on you that you don't have to skimp and save. Knowing where you can stop to either refill. So on our last ride, we both ran out. Silly mistake. Had Camelback sitting indoors we could have brought with us. The 2 shops we thought would be open were closed. So have more than you think you need. And if you're someone who starts to stiffen up and tighten up, stop. Enjoy the ride. Stretch out. Carry on. Quick top tip. Here she comes. Spinners are winners. Is if you can see the road coming up ahead, you've got a killer hill coming. This one at its peak hits around 13-14%, but you've got a nice 9% lead into it. Try and get as much speed as you can comfortably without blasting your legs on the downhill. As you hit the uphill, just start slowly downshifting and going through your front and your rear cassette until you're able to just keep spinning up the hill. You'll be amazed how quickly you can get up the other side. Carrying the speed on the downhill can get you almost halfway up on the other side. And then don't be afraid, come out of the saddle, drop it down a couple of gears, make it a little harder, and as you sit, drop it up a couple of gears so it spins easier, and you can keep that cycle going so you don't lose any of your speed. Quick updates, we're about 50k in and we're at Scottish convenience store in Fergus. These are great, so we're both running double water bottles here. Each bottle is about, the Camelback ones, each one's about 1.5 liters. The great thing, always plan or check on your route, Google Maps and so forth, if there's little convenience stores and somewhere to stop off and keep hydrated. Super important. It's also nice just to sometimes just stop and just get off the bike and just stretch if you need be. My forearms always seem to stiffen up and tighten up. Sarah, a little bit of a QL issue. Make sure you stay hydrated, lots of water, and rough for all the fun, pissing clear every hour. So the things you fired on a bike. So coming down this way, road closed, skip around the side of the fence, straight over this. Check this out. Always accessible on a bike. There's a yogi.
Hey.
How stunning is this? Shallow enough here if you want to have a little cool down. Beautiful. 90k in to the 150. All is going pretty well. We're just by this magnificent river here. Over here is some of the biggest houses I've ever seen. Tips of the day.
Eating is fun.
Carbs up. Toilets, use them when you can. Fill up with water when you can. Better to go home with the bottles full up rather than running out as you're riding. Stop and take in some of this loveliness as you see it. Sometimes you get into the ride and you just want to keep cracking on. But it's important sometimes to actually stop and have a look around at what you're rolling through. Stretch when you can, the little forearm stretches, stretching on the bike, stretch the calf, you can drop the heel down. Got another few hours left to go.
We aimed to leave at 9, we left at 10. Next time, yeah, right.
Just shy of 100k, got another 50k to go. Just been through this most amazing area. We'll see the Strava link down below. Found the little convenience store, which is fantastic. So topping up on the old water. Definitely get yourself one of these solar powered battery juice pack. This one I got off Amazon. It was about 45 bucks. Really slim. The solar panel will recharge it. It takes a while, but you can put it on the top of your gas tank and it'll charge as you go along. So I have it that it can charge the lights, even the Wahoo. And here we've got it charging Sarah's Apple Watch. Really fast charging it. And just topping up the power on the rear lights. Really great little piece. And here's the missus. Just topped us up with the old H2O. A little chocolate mint chip treat. How you doing, baby doll?
Pretty good. Very excited to have found a store. I was starting to wonder where they were. So nice to have some water. It's been pretty sunny out. But no, it's amazing. So
Any
good.
tips from a girl's perspective on the riding?
Just remember lots of sunscreen, and especially if you're fair. Remember to stretch, get up out of the saddle. It makes a big difference. And leave a little earlier than you think. So you have the day to meander.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Great tips. I would follow it up with, as crazy as these sunglasses look, get wraparounds. It's an amazing amount of flies and debris if a car flies past you that end up bouncing off these crazy looking glasses. So back home, so I thought I'd shower before we finish the video. Both cracked it, 150k. Strava links are down below. What did we learn? I started with it, lots of water, pre-hydrate, go out with your belly full of food and water. I go on the premise now, I'd rather come home with the bottles still full from filling up than running out. It's a horrible feeling. Lots of little Nutrigain bars I took. I did the sugar water. That for me is perfect. Anyone who thinks it isn't, they're riding around with energy gels and glucose syrup stuff. It's the same stuff, but you're throwing it all in the bin. It's just a wasteful product. You can use the sugar, you can add some flavor, and it's exactly the same thing. Don't be fooling yourself that it isn't. You can work out the calories and the carbohydrate needs if you're using the Apple Watch or a Garmin or even better, a Wahoo. It'll tell you your calories per hour that you're burning. You get a rough idea at the end of your calories burn. Okay, it's one figure, but at least it gives you something to go by. And then how do you feel? Other things I learned, a little bit more suntan oil than I probably took. So my aroma nose a little bit on the parched side. Do wear good sunnies. I recommend the Oakley wraparounds or a similar one. It's amazing how many bugs and stuff fly into your face when you're cycling. I'm running slicks. Mine are Vittoria's Zaffarino Pro slicks. They're fantastic. They're a 28. They work really well. Sarah's running Continental Ride 28s. They're great. A little bit more suited to wet weather and gravelly riding. They got a little bit more tread in them. Definitely bring a little solar panel or a power bank. Sarah doesn't have a Wahoo at the moment, so she's running the Apple Watch, and because of the GPS, it does burn through the battery quite quickly. So you got about 2 hours on that. Charge it with a solar panel. We run two rear lights, 2 front lights, and again with a little solar panel. Stop, charge them, and carry on. I got Bontranger ones on the front. We got Nick Flares on the rear. We got 2 emergency batteries on there as well. Both running little saddle pouches, got a spare tube in it, some patches and a pump. Don't like the air canisters. Again, once you've used them, you're binning them. It's complete waste. Rock Bros gas tank. It's not bad. I wouldn't personally recommend it. It's quite wide, so your knees rubbing it. So I've just ordered the new Topeak one. You can have the solar panel charging as you're going along. You can have your phone there. It's pretty cool. I run a little Bluetooth earpiece here just so I can listen to some music or do a video. Some people will think it's okay, others won't. It's personal opinion. Sarah runs a single earpiece as well, so we leave it on the side of the pavement and leave the side on the traffic free. Again, it's a personal thing. Do what you feel is safe. That's it. Anything else you want to see, let us know. Cheerio. Carbs for the win! Spinners are winners!